Every book you've ever read about Africa before 1958 was a lie. Not an exaggeration, not a perspective. A deliberate, systematic lie designed by European writers who needed to justify the theft of an entire continent. Joseph Conrad called Africa the heart of darkness. Joyce Cary described Africans as primitive children unable to think. Western publishers and universities taught this as fact for centuries. Then, a 28-year-old Nigerian teacher from Ogidi named Chinua Achebe sat down and rewrote history. In 1958, when Things Fall Apart was published by Heinemann in London, it did something that had never been done before in modern literature. It told the story of colonization from the colonized person's perspective. Not from the British missionary, not from the white trader, from Okonkwo, from the Igbo people, from home. And the novel tells the story of an Igbo village in Nigeria during the 1890s as British colonizers and Christian missionaries arrive and systematically dismantle everything. According to academic research from the Library of Congress, the power of Achebe's novel was that it presented African societies with the complexity and sophistication they actually possessed. Advanced social institutions, rich cultural traditions, complex moral philosophies. This wasn't primitive. This was civilization. But here's what makes Achebe dangerous in the eyes of the West. He used their own weapon against them. He wrote in English, the colonizers' language. When asked why he didn't write in Igbo, Achebe said something that changed everything. I have been given this language that is English, and I intend to use it. He took the master's tools and built a counter-narrative so powerful that it shattered 500 years of colonial propaganda in a single book. According to the African Writers series at Heinemann, Things Fall Apart has sold over 20 million copies worldwide and has been translated into more than 50 languages. It's the most widely read African novel in existence, not because it's exotic, but because it's true. It's human. It's dignified. Schools across Europe, America, and Africa began teaching it. Universities made it required reading. Suddenly, a generation of scholars realized they'd been lied to. According to the Library of Congress historical records, an Achebe's novel initiated an entire generation of scholars who fought to understand the complexities of African societies and the process of decolonizing history itself. The impact doesn't stop there. Every African writer who came after, Wole Soyinka, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Ben Okri, all of them stood on Achebe's shoulders. Adichie herself has said that reading Achebe gave her permission to tell her own story. He didn't just write a novel, he created a template for how an entire continent could reclaim its narrative. This is why they called him the father of modern African literature. Though Achebe himself rejected that title with characteristic humility and precision, he wasn't creating something new, he was restoring something stolen. He was reminding us that Africa had a voice long before Europeans decided to speak for it. Yet here's what should haunt you. Random House's 100 Best Novels list in 1998 didn't include a single African author, not one. Things Fall Apart, 20 million copies sold, translated into 50 languages, required reading in universities worldwide, didn't make their list. That's not coincidence. That's systematic erasure. Chinua Achebe died in 2013, but his work didn't. Things Fall Apart remains the bridge between a past that was stolen and a future that must be reclaimed. Every word he wrote was an act of resistance. Every copy sold was an act of decolonization. Until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. Achebe gave the lions their historian. Now the question is, what will we do with that power? This Black History Month, The question isn't whether Achebe matters, and the question is whether you're ready to understand what his work actually cost him and what it's worth to us now. If this resonated with you, if you felt the weight of that proverb, if you understand why reclaiming our narratives matters, then this is your moment. Share this with someone who needs to understand that African intellectual genius built the foundation of modern literature. Like this, because our stories deserve to be told by us, not sanitized by those who want to erase us. Follow, because there are more buried narratives, more forgotten giants, more decolonized truths we need to uncover together. Comment below, what story from your own history has been erased or rewritten by others? Let's remind each other that our narratives matter, that our voices matter, and that Achebe wasn't just writing a novel, he was showing us how to fight back. Your comment, your like, your share, that's how we continue what Achebe started.